Good morning. Not really. Um, this is my morning log recorded the night before, which is not something I normally do. But I just found out that my good friend George Weddleton passed on this afternoon. And I wanted to tell you a story about him because he's the man who changed the direction of my life, I believe. Um, I'm drinking this bottle of wine because it was the last bottle I purchased from the Parkhurst in Luray, Virginia. But George's dad was the head of food and beverage for the Fairmont San Francisco. He knew everybody in wine. He knew everybody in food at the time, and was a wonderful chef, a wonderful person, stubborn, outspoken, uh, temperamental, passionate, and he taught me all those things that are part of this life. He taught me so much about wine and cooking and quality and the struggle that it takes to bring quality to the table, the struggle it takes behind the house, paying the bills. But also, he taught me how to be me. One night after family meal, everybody would get together and eat after everything was cleaned. And by the way, we didn't have a dishwasher. Every pot, pan, dish, and glass had to be hand washed and polished every night. So normally family meal took place around 2 a.m. Uh, and we were sitting there and everyone had gone to bed or gone home, and he and I were sitting there and he said, "You're funky tonight. What's up with you?" And I finally just blurted it out, and I think I probably started crying, and I said, "I don't know if I'm straight or gay, I don't know." Um, and he finally said, "Why do you have to be either? Why can't you just be David and shut up?" And that was the boom moment of my life. The moment that I realized I could be me and be happy with that and not have to pose and hide and do all those things that you tend to think you have to do when you can't be you. So here's to a man who put his family in a bus, drove them across the nation looking for the perfect place, found Luray, Virginia, and started a beautiful restaurant. Struggled really hard because he knew what quality was and he wanted it done right. And it did well, and then it started to peter off a little bit, and he was getting ready to shut it down. And one night he even called his sous chef Carol at the time and said, "Why don't you stay home? We have one family on the books. I think maybe I'll even call and cancel them." But he didn't. He waited and cooked their meal, and the lady started asking questions. And George was, like I said, very outspoken. And finally he said, "Who are you, Phyllis Richmond?" And two of the kids at the table giggled, and he went, "Oh no." And so that next Thursday, and I believe I'm correct on this, Phyllis Richmond, the food critic for the Washington Post, posted her first food review above the fold on the front page of the food section of the Washington Post. And I didn't know that, and I was going to James Madison at the time, and I came home that weekend and came down the big hill right before the Parkhurst, and there were cars everywhere. And so I pulled in, ran in the back door and said, "George, what's going on?" And he threw an apron and said, "Get out there and I'll tell you later." And it really helped save the restaurant. So he had faith that he could make it through, and he did. And he did a wonderful job. And here's to George. Have a good day. Hold on there. I realized I left a huge part of the equation out and a huge part of the story. George's wife, Nita, was the glue to that restaurant. Uh, and not only did she raise their 3 kids, but she was the front of the house. She was the one who trained every waiter, who oversaw all the customer service, the entire front of the house for the whole time they had the restaurant. She ruled with an iron fist, and you never left the kitchen or left the floor without something in your hand to go the other way. She is loved, and this is going to be difficult for her, so I'm sending her love and light and much respect. Now, have a good day, take care of each other,